I want to give you the first word on one of tomorrow's most compelling stories, and one that could have global national security ramifications. And I have to say, it's a damn shame. 22-year-old Otto Warmbier will be laid to rest tomorrow. He died after 17 months in a North Korean prison, but the people who know and love him, well, they would rather remember him this way, speaking at his high school graduation just 4 years ago.
This is our season finale. This is the end of one great show, but just the beginning to hundreds of new spin-offs. No matter where we go or what we do, though, we will always have this group here. Even when Wyoming's class of 2013 is a thing of the past, we'll have the support of all of these people around us. We'll have the knowledge we gained as a group, and we'll have the reruns, the memories we've created to be played over and over again.
So, Phil, his funeral is scheduled for tomorrow. The president governs from his gut. Does this incident mean that the president will take a different approach to North Korea, do you think?
He better not. This is a lesson in leadership. It's not a lesson in a change in American strategic direction. By leadership, I mean that American child is lost. The child of a family in America is gone. The American president, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a natural disaster, or whether it's a national security tragedy like this one, should lead the American people in mourning. But the leadership question is, American people want answers, and the answer today is you have a nuclear-capable state that is developing ballistic missiles that could reach the American coast. Keep cool and carry on. Mourn with America, but don't change direction based on the tragic loss of one life. You can't do that, Don.
General Marks, just from reading what you had to say before doing this interview on television, I think you believe the same thing. He's dealing with this on a personal, emotional level, but he should remain strong.
He needs to. This view that we've had of North Korea has been in place for over 60+ years. If this was an easy solution, it would have been enacted at some point in the past. What we can do now, as Phil indicated, is we want to mourn as a nation the loss of this incredible young man at the hands of a pathetic regime. Must be acknowledged. But you have to lead very, very aggressively. So let's take the mourning of Otto Warmbier and put it to the side. Let's focus on it for a second. But you still have a North Korean regime that is on a march to have the ability to launch a nuclear weapon that can hit the United States, or you could have a launch over the South Korean, the southern part of the peninsula, and have an electromagnetic pulse effect on South Korea that would blacken it, would turn it into night. That by itself must dictate our actions, and we've got to cooperate with China, and it gives us an opportunity to really redirect our energies to what is truly an existential threat that needs leadership, very calm, focused, and very aggressive leadership.
Colonel Layton, I want to get your thoughts on this, because remember when President Trump said that the images of the children coming out of Syria after that chemical attack, it prompted him to retaliate. Do you think that we'll see similar military action here, and if so, what are the options?
Well, I think the options, Don, are limited. I think that the president would love to do something that responds to his visceral hatred of the North Korean regime.
Do you think we'll see it, though? Will he do something?
I don't think he will. I think what will happen is he will be confined by the capabilities that are out there, and by that I mean the American military capabilities. He's going to be briefed on those capabilities. They're retooling those plans that they've had in place for many, many years, as General Marks alluded to, and those plans are going to really be put to the test, because the president is going to have to ask some tough questions, but he's going to realize pretty soon that one of the key things is that there are going to be consequences to any action that he takes. I think a lot of Americans would really like to go after the North Korean regime, but it's going to be very difficult to advocate for regime change, for example, or to find some way to put them in a box. And that's going to be a very, very hard thing for the president to learn.
Last word here, Phil, because I think this whole thing is significantly dimmed any hopes of any diplomatic engagement with North Korea, right?
I wouldn't rule that out. Look, every president has to face a simple question, that is, how do you protect the security of 320 million Americans? As North Korea moves forward, something's changing, Don, and that change is the capability to reach American shores potentially with a nuclear weapon. Eventually, you got to engage with the North Koreans to figure out what the answer is to that, and right now we don't have that answer.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And that eventuality has a shorter and shorter time frame. That's the concern.
I got to run. Thank you all. I appreciate it.